Hello and welcome to another Tech Articles. In this article, we're going to go over my new automation for submitting an update to the WordPress repo. I have a couple of plugins on the WordPress repo still, only two currently. Most of my plugins are now only available on GitHub to download, install, and they automatically update from GitHub using UUPD, which is a free updater for WordPress plugins. It allows me to automatically update those for free using GitHub's CDN. So I've transitioned over to that. It's a pretty seamless way of working once you have the plugin installed. It's not quite as seamless as going into your dashboard and typing it into search and doing it from there, but I am working on a plugin that will allow you to access all of my plugins from the GitHub repo direct. I'm just trying to work out how that's going to work, and that will still be distributed via GitHub because that wouldn't be allowed under the terms of the WordPress.org plugin rules. So because I don't release huge amounts of updates and I don't have huge amounts of them, this is one of the only parts of my workflow that hasn't been automated in the last sort of 5 or 6 months. So as I had to release a new version for Webhook for Bricks Forms, and I actually also want to push the version number today to 2.0 so it matches Webhook for Bricks Forms. Now, it's not necessarily needed anymore because Bricks has inbuilt webhooks, but there are quite a few users still using it. And it still has some uses that the native Bricks integration can't do. So I'm going to push an update to this now, and we are going to see how that's done. So I'm just going to run this batch script. I've already changed the files, changed the README files, and I'm going to push to 2.0. And what's going to happen now is we're going to get a push to our trunk, then it's going to release as a new branch and tag as 2.0. It will then push that to WordPress, and then it will open a browser window and refresh the status of that window. And that's the automation complete. Now we see we get a new version of Webhook for Bricks Forms load, and if I refresh this page one more time, you'll see that the current version is 2.0. And just like that, we've released a new version and it's all been uploaded to the WordPress repo. Now, behind the scenes, we have a very small batch script running here that allows me to update this. So it takes a few variables, the repo URL, where the README file is, what the plugin's main file is called, and what the working directory is for this SVN. And then what it does is it extracts the slug from the file from the URL, and then it asks me for a version number, and then it runs the various bits here. So in this case, it's updating the PHP to 2.0. In this case, it's updating the stable tag in the README to 2.0. In this bit here, it's sending it to the trunk. So it's basically doing a push as if we were on GitHub, and then it's tagging and releasing a new version. And then at the very end, we have here it automatically refreshing and launching. And just like that, we have a fully working automation. And I have built one of these for each of my current WordPress plugins. So now I can work on them. I have one that works between its GitHub repo and its SVN repo. I keep them separately. I work in the GitHub repo and I push to the SVN to push. So in my GitHub repo for this, just outside of what is actually pushed to the repo, I have another batch script called transfer. I run that and it will copy the entire directory from here to the trunk. And then I know I'm ready to push a update via this automation. And those two batch scripts allow me to work in isolation in GitHub and push to WordPress when I need to. Now, what I'll do is I will put the code for this and a link to this video in an article on Tech Articles. And I hope it gives some other people ideas about how they can automate their new plugins onto the WordPress repo and what can actually be achieved with automation. I now have successfully got automations for my UUPD free plugins for this WordPress.org releases. And I also have a new one for shortcut based premium plugins, and I will record a video on that one in due course. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel.